Hello and welcome to my next podcast episode, Pilgrim of the Path podcast. And yes, I'm so happy to be here with you. And I just want to share something with you. Oh, hang on. Before I share, I just would like to introduce myself. My name is Thomas, and I do sound therapy and other modalities just to help and facilitate guidance to find for people to find their inner self, their inner stillness, their inner wisdom, and just to connect with a deeper place within themselves. So, and this is my weekly podcast, as I mentioned. And lately, I have been reflecting, contemplating about this new moon we are experiencing at the moment. And the new moon and all the energies that surround this new moon. And for those of you that do know me, I do like working with the lunar cycles. But you know what? Apart from that, I think what this new moon is bringing, it really reflects some energies inside of all of us at this specific moment. And okay, so I've mentioned that that I do like to work with the cycles of the moon. And so with this new moon, I am releasing my first mindful children's story on my website. And if you are curious, you are welcome to look at it. And maybe you don't know, maybe something inside of you will long for something fantastical. Let me put it that way. Fantastical, yes. So, um, but okay, enough of that for now. Um, so I think maybe lately you've been, well, not just you, I also feel that you are all over the place, right? Spreading yourself too thin, like margarine or butter on a piece of bread or a loaf of bread. And it's literally like you have got the one project after the other, and you get to a point where you don't know which one to leave for later and which one should be done first, and you just don't know where to, you don't know what to focus on. Let me say it like that. But now this new moon in Taurus carries the energy of Agni, which is the sacred fire of transformation. And it's very interesting that this new moon is kind of like a doorway portal into the end of this month. We've got a full moon in Sagittarius, which is also a very deep transformative zodiac sign. So in a way, this almost feels like, okay, we are heading towards a very deep transformational personal space within us. So so with this sacred fire of transformation, all those energies are associated with courage, purification, very sharp, deep, um, sharp, deep. There's another word I can't remember now, but awareness, deep sense of awareness, different states of awareness, one can say, and the ability to cut out what no longer serves us. And we always say this, but you know what? There's always a layer to be released. There's always something that you need to let go of so that you can, step up your game, go a little bit forward. So combined with other powerful planetary influences surrounding this new moon, this lunation. There may also be sudden realizations. You might just all of a sudden feel something pops up and something you got to do, you know. Emotional intensity, maybe mood swings, or feeling emotions very intense, unexpected shifts. So you can one morning you can wake up and then all of a sudden you don't feel the same about something you felt like you felt yesterday about it. So it's almost like someone just came while you were sleeping, just switching a switch, you know. Very, it's happened to me before. It's quite something. But also maybe the feeling that life is just, you know, moving on, and there are things that you just need to let go of. Otherwise, you're going to get lost. You're going to drown. And so maybe this is exactly what some of us are feeling. And so it's a sense of change. Old structures are collapsing, they are ending. A sense of new beginnings are opening up. And alongside of this very intense, fiery moment, another message came through to me very strongly this week. And maybe it's because we're now closing our chakra journey with in my membership. And I did speak a lot about, you know, when one does all this very high consciousness work, you can find yourself being quite floaty up there and, you know, losing a little bit of touch with reality. Well, you know, with the physical world, let me not call it reality, but with the physical world. So I encourage my members always to keep grounded. So this is the message that really came strongly. And yeah, so when our energy becomes too dispersed, so we are too busy with things and thinking about too many things, um, life can start to feel very overwhelming. You can get stressed, you can get anxious, and you miss out on very subtle divine messages that's coming through, and that you just overlook them, because it's inspiration's not big. Inspiration can come in the form of feathers, of sounds, of a song you might hear on the radio. It can be a bumper sticker in the car, on the car in front of you, or maybe a number plate giving you um, uh, messages through numerology or something like that, or the weather, and all those subtle things. It's all just messages. And because you know what, trying to fit everything in your schedule and trying to please everybody, it can become quite exhausting. And also to be to keep up your creativity can also become very exhaustive. So we can lose our connection to that very intuitive guidance that can give us hints and guidance on how to finish our project or finish our creative project. So, and oh, this is one of the messages I came across this week, and it said, exciting experiences can only unfold when your energy is intact and contained. So there's a place for structures. But you know what, being contained or being structured, not in the way of being restricted, you know, being limited, but it's more about being grounded, being rooted, being connected, and to really be present. in that present moment. So the Taurus energy reminds us to return to the earth, to our physical body, to our breath, to nourishment, to really look and experience what we put into our body, food wise now, and to really look at things and see what has got really real value to me at this specific moment. Because not everything deserves equal amounts of our life force or energy or time. And yeah, so this new moon also falls on Shani Jayanti, which is a very sacred day in the yogi tradition. It's honoring the planet Saturn, or the Lord Shani Dev, but it's the Lord of karma, truth, discipline, and spiritual maturity. How are you looking at the things in your life at the moment? Because Saturn teaches us that true growth is built slowly. Saturn is a very slow planet. It's the last one of the 7 or the 9 in Vedic astrology. So it moves and it orbits the sun very slow, but steady and with integrity. I think you can say that, yes. So that's what Saturn is all about. It's about learning lessons, but not in a very swift and fast way, but really being immersed in the teaching of the lessons that you are moving through. So, not through force, not through burnout, but grounded devotion. And perhaps this is the deeper invitation right now. You know, not necessarily to do more, but to strengthen the roots beneath you that is already growing and remembering those. So it's about simplifying, refining, and in the end to breathe again. To remember that your physical body, your nervous system is sacred too. You know, we have this body, physical body, as a gift, and we were trusted in looking after it. So honoring our body is devotion in itself. So if you have been feeling very scattered, this can be a reminder to reconnect with yourself and to the earth, to Mama Gaia, in simple ways. Go for a walk, be in the forest, sit beneath a tree, listen to the wind, touch the ground, walk bare feet on the ground, rest, take a nap, light a candle, burn incense, burn aromatherapy oil, light a candle, chant, and just allow yourself a few moments of stillness and just quietness, and without needing to figure things out or to doom scroll, right? Just take your mind a little bit off those electronic things and be with I almost said your naked self, but you know what I mean. I'm not saying to go lie naked on the bed, but I mean with your vulnerability to yourself, so that you can see through the veils of the physical world and see what's going on inside. Because maybe true transformation, well, maybe no, true transformation does not begin in chaos. Or actually does it? It depends on what chaos you're referring to. So, yeah. But definitely in rooted presence. You cannot go forward if you are not present and grounded. Very important. And yeah, and again, I mentioned it to my members as well. We've just had a very big storm here in Cape Town, and many areas were affected, badly damaged. But although there were many trees uprooted with the strong winds, there were many trees that were not. And that just reminded me of, if your roots are not solid, if they're not strong enough, if they haven't spread deep enough into Mother Gaia, you might be very it will be easy to uproot you and throw you just throw you around from the one corner to the next. But if your roots are strong enough and you are grounded, your foundations are firm. You know where you are, you know what you stand for, and you know what you are supposed to do. And for those of you living in the Blouberg area, Cape Town, I will be hosting an evening of mantra and chanting on Monday the 25th of this month, close to the full moon actually. And it will be at the Pure Source Yoga Studio in Blouberg Strand. Donations are welcome, but please just make sure that you book, as space is limited. So if you feel called to gather in community and breathe and chant and reconnect through the sound, your own vibration that you create, you're warmly welcome to join us. And with that is me in a nutshell. So I'm looking forward to meet with you again next week. But in the meantime, be kind to yourself and those around you, and may our path be full of joy and blessings. Until next time, namaste.